Good evening, dear parents. I, on behalf of the School Management Committee and our principal, Mr. D.N. Rao, and the entire staff of the primary section of classes 3, 4, and 5, welcome you to this orientation program for the academic year 2023-2024. Today, we shall walk you through the school processes. We shall familiarize you with the school system, the teaching faculty, changes brought about the CBSE, and all that you need to know. Parents, I request you to post your doubts and queries, if any, in the Q&A section so that we may take them up at the end of the session. At the helm of every institution is a visionary leader, supported by able, like-minded co-workers. At the primary school, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir, we have our principal, Mr. D.N. Rao, the vice principals, Mrs. Shashikala Prabhat, and myself, Mr. Ernst Schwan, and our senior supervisor, Mrs. Seema Pereira. We are effective educational leaders who, along with our dedicated team of passionate and committed teachers, strive to develop, advocate, and enact a shared mission, vision, and core values of high quality education and academic success and well-being of each and every student in our care. It is said, the beginning of a school year brings new teachers, new classmates, new opportunities, new relationships. While the relationships of your child forms with peers are important, we may be surprised that the most significant relationship in terms of your child's school success and development is the one you form with his or her teacher. Positive connections between parents and teachers have been shown to improve children's academic achievement, social competencies, and emotional well-being. Well, parents and teachers work as partners. Children do better in school and at home. With the adoption and introduction of the National Education Policy 2020, which we call NEP, the aims, objectives, learning outcomes, in fact, the very methodologies and strategies have undergone a change. Parents, the world is changing rapidly. Education, likewise, is an ongoing, continuous, and developing process. The NEP 2020 was introduced and implemented by the Ministry of Education of India with the aim to make India develop a world-class educational system with equal access to the highest quality of education for all students, regardless of their social or economic status. From curricular integration of essential subjects, skills, and capabilities, experiential learning will be adopted, including a greater emphasis on hands-on learning, arts integrated and sports integrated education, exploring interrelations of various subjects with a higher focus on competency-based education. To ensure that the NEP 2020 is well understood and implemented, the National Curriculum Framework will soon be brought about for the preparatory stage of the academic structure to define the aims, curricular goals, domains, competencies, and learning outcomes. We look forward to your continuous support and cooperation in implementing it successfully. Once again, dear parents, I welcome you to this evening's orientation program, and I now invite the academic coordinator of the Department of English, Mrs. Deepa, to introduce a vibrant team and brief you on the subject English. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening and a warm welcome to each one of you dear parents for the orientation for the academic year 2023-2024. In the present multilingual society, languages encompass us. It's up to us to embrace them. As it is rightly said, a different language is a different vision of life. Children have the innate ability to learn more than one language simultaneously, provided there is adequate exposure and meaningful interaction with the language. I, Mrs. Deepa Krishna, Academic Coordinator for the Department of English, will brief you on the pedagogy of the English language in classes 3, 4 and 5. The goals of English language curriculum are twofold: attainment of basic proficiency and the development of language as an instrument for abstract thought and knowledge acquisition. The objectives of language teaching are to develop competency, to understand what one listens to read with comprehension and not merely decode, to express effortlessly and to write coherently. To achieve these 4 skills, we have well-graded textbooks. This year, we are following the Enhanced English Alive coursebook by Collins Publications. Let's have a look at the strategies we follow to achieve these skills through one of the prose chapters from the textbook. There is a chapter named Chuskit Goes to School. It's a story about a girl named Chuskit from Ladakh who is unable to go to school as she is confined to a wheelchair. But finally she succeeds. The story is introduced with a warm-up activity. Games like blindfold and dumb charades are played, followed by discussion regarding the famous physically challenged personalities who have excelled in various fields. Next, students locate Ladakh on the map of India. Ladakh's physical features and its tradition and culture are discussed in brief. Information about the author, Miss Sujata Padmanabhan, the inspiration which led her to write the story, and Miss Ramasubban, who directed the movie based on the story, is also given to the students. This is a prelude to the chapter. After the introduction, the teacher model reads the story and explains the story to the children. Audio of the story is also played for the children to listen to. This is followed by question-answer session to test the comprehension of the students. Some time is allotted for the students to read the lesson silently and comprehend the content. New vocabulary is discussed through the context. Students frame sentences orally using the new vocabulary learnt. A couple of reading sessions like choral reading, individual reading and supplementary reading are held to enhance the reading skills of the students. Once we are sure that the children have comprehended the story, we go ahead with writing. Initially, children frame sentences using the new vocabulary learnt. Later, they write the question and answers based on the story. They also analyze the context given in the story and answer questions based on it. They complete the vocabulary worksheet. To enhance creativity, children use the story arc of Freytag's pyramid to create the story related to the story Chuskit. We go beyond the lesson and encourage children to explore more. We discuss regarding the 6 fundamental rights recognized by Indian Constitution, the uses of wheelchairs, ramps, and international symbol of access. They cite places where the symbol is used and find out more about it. Value-based thought-provoking questions are discussed to imbibe values in the students. Students draw a stick figure illustrating a child sitting in a wheelchair and mention how he or she would help him or her. At the end of the day, we want our children to be humane, beautiful, inside and out. Here are some of the pics of the previous year's activities. Wherever possible, we integrate art in our strategy and try to give them a hands-on experience to learn. As and when activities are conducted, children will be informed well in advance about them. Please provide them with the required materials. Some activities are given as home assignments to reinforce the concepts learnt. Kindly ensure that the children complete them at home. As you could see, our classroom strategies are based on different types of intelligence and addresses all domains of development. We follow a holistic approach that focuses on all aspects of child's growth. Along with the reading of the textbook, we encourage intensive and extensive reading by providing interesting articles in the form of reading comprehension worksheets and also by sharing the e-books with the students. At regular intervals, oral comprehension worksheets are given to enhance their listening skills. We have planned ample activities throughout the year for the children to articulate themselves and develop their oratory skills. Apart from teaching incidental grammar, which is given in the textbook, we have formal grammar classes wherein we deal with language structures which are graded as per the levels. These are some of the grammar structures taught in grades 3, 4 and 5. We follow the strategy from known to unknown and simple to complex. Most of the strategies are activity and application based. Worksheets are provided to reinforce the structures learned. The children are encouraged to apply their knowledge of the grammar structures learned in their regular writing sessions like creative writing classes. Creative writing is also promoted by providing the young learners with ample writing activities like picture composition, paragraph writing, story writing, letter writing, diary entry. These are some of the creative writing worksheets. Children are encouraged to maintain a diary once they learn diary entry. For English, children will maintain 2 notebooks, one for prose and one for language. All assessment is perpetual work in progress. As and when the chapters and topics are taught, a unit test will be conducted to test a child's level of comprehension and relevant feedback will be given. Apart from that, we have 4 assessments in an academic year: pre-midterm, midterm, post-midterm and final. We also have subject enrichment activities and notebook evaluations. The details are projected on the screen. The dates and the portion of the assessment will be informed well in advance. Now, let's have a glimpse of some of the activities and the competitions that were successfully conducted during the academic year 2022-2023. We are proud to inform you all that our children have excelled at international level competitive exams like English Olympiad. We also have students who had participated in international level inter-school competitions and brought laurels to our school. The competition inspires kids to do their best. It helps them to reinforce the skills they have acquired over a period of time. It's a good learning exposure for the children. It grooms their personality. This year, we'll be conducting the following competitions. At class 3 level, we have storytelling, show and tell. At class 4, character speaks, public speaking. For class 5, we have elocution and travelogue. Whenever there are competitions, the children will be informed well in advance regarding the same through a circular or a flyer. Request you to encourage your children to participate in the competitions. Let me introduce you all to my resourceful, dedicated team who enthusiastically works with the children to achieve our goals. Mrs. Sheba, Mrs. Gemma, Mrs. Annie, Mrs. Farah, Mrs. Usha, Mrs. Lubna, Mrs. Lynn, Mrs. Amlu, Mrs. Batul, Mrs. Aditi, Miss Jayalakshmi, Mrs. Nikat, and Mrs. Meenakshi. I'm proud to say that any event in ISWK Primary, you will find them either training the students or comparing for the event. We teachers believe that we always have the potential to progress and refine our teaching skills. There is always more to learn and new skills to attain. Hence, we attend various workshops from time to time to keep ourselves updated with changing times. I'm glad to say that our department had an opportunity to conduct a capacity building workshop under the aegis of BOD on the topic creative writing. It was much appreciated by the teachers who had attended the workshop from different schools across Oman. At the end of the day, the most overwhelming key to child success is the positive involvement of parents. Dear parents, please ensure that your child attends the classes regularly, practices what is done in class, completes the assignments on time, attend PTM and take feedback from the teachers. As you know, communication is the key to success. I would like to conclude by quoting these lines. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. Yes, parents, let's work together in harmony. We all have the same goal to help our children live better. Dear parents, thank you very much. Now, may I request Hemlata ma'am to take over the session?
थैंक यू दीपा मैम। शिक्षा से मूल्यवान कोई चीज़ नहीं होती और इसे केवल परिश्रम से ही पाया जाता है। नमस्कार डियर पेरेंट्स, गुड इवनिंग टू वन एंड ऑल। हिंदी विभाग की ओर से आज के इस ओरिएंटेशन में मैं हेमलता और मेरी सहकर्मी रिजवाना बेगम आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत करते हैं। हिंदी सीखना एक कला है, इट्स एन आर्ट। हिंदी एक अद्वितीय भाषा है। It's a unique language with distinct and independent sound. The letters are spoken as they are written, and that is why it is easy to learn. हमारे विद्यालय में क्लासेस 3, 4, 5 में हिंदी जो है सेकेंड लैंग्वेज के तौर पर पढ़ाई जाती है। The foundation for teaching of Hindi language is developed steadily, and we at ISWK align ourselves to the recommendations laid down by the CBSE. भाषा भावों की अभिव्यक्ति है। इसीलिए द ओवरऑल एम ऑफ टीचिंग हिंदी इज विद्यार्थियों को उचित रूप से हिंदी बोलने में सक्षम बनाना, टू enable the learners to communicate effectively and appropriately in real life situations. और ये तभी अचीव किया जा सकता है जब हम उनके लिसनिंग, स्पीकिंग, रीडिंग और राइटिंग स्किल को डेवलप और शार्पन करें. To achieve the objectives of teaching, the medium of text that we will be following this year for classes 3, 4 and 5 is Abir Hindi Pathmala version 2 textbook cum workbook. The strategies we will follow to achieve these 4 skills are as follows. श्रवण कौशल, लिसनिंग स्किल. श्रवण कौशल में हम बालक के सुनने की क्षमता, लिसनिंग स्किल के विकास पर जोर देते हैं. किसी भी बात को सही प्रकार से समझने के लिए उसे ध्यान से सुनना जरूरी है. विद्यार्थी अध्यापिका द्वारा कही गई बात को ध्यानपूर्वक सुनकर समझने का प्रयास करता है और दिए गए टास्क, एक्टिविटी को पूरा करने की कोशिश करता है. इससे बच्चों की सोचने, समझने और सीखने की क्षमता बढ़ जाती है. स्पीकिंग स्किल, वाचन कौशल. कम्युनिकेटिव स्किल्स को डेवलप करने के लिए कक्षा में बच्चों को पढ़ाए गए पाठ या अन्य कई टॉपिक पर बोलने का अवसर दिया जाता है, जैसे प्रश्न उत्तर, वाक्य रचना, कहानी का सार, कहानी के पात्र का वर्णन आदि. हमारी कोशिश होती है कि विद्यार्थी अपने विचारों को फ्लुएंटली और कॉन्फिडेंटली व्यक्त कर सके. वाचन कौशल को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए हम कई एक्टिविटीज और कॉम्पिटिशन्स भी करवाते हैं, जिसकी चर्चा हम आगे करेंगे. पठन कौशल, रीडिंग स्किल. विद्यार्थियों का पढ़ने में कुशल होना बहुत जरूरी है, इसलिए बच्चों से पाठ का मौन वाचन, साइलेंट रीडिंग, व्यक्तिगत वाचन, इंडिविजुअल रीडिंग और सामूहिक वाचन, कोरल रीडिंग करवाते हैं. पाठ के अलावा विद्यार्थियों को कई अनसीन पैसेजेस, अपठित गद्यांश पढ़ने के लिए भी दिए जाते हैं. Children learn to read and recite independently with the correct pronunciation, clarity, fluency and understanding. Writing skill, लेखन कौशल. Through various teaching methods used, children learn to organize their ideas and answer in a sequential manner. For written work, children need to maintain 2 notebooks. The topics covered in 2 notebooks are displayed in the following slides. Notebook 1 consists of prose work of the lesson, Sulekh handwriting, Shabdarth word meaning, Vakya Rachna framing of sentences and question answers. Language work of the lesson. पर्यायवाची शब्द, synonyms, विलोम, antonyms, लिंग, gender, noun, number will be done in notebook 1. पाठ्य पुस्तक, रीडर से संबंधित सारे कार्य विद्यार्थी इस नोटबुक में करेंगे. All the written work related to the prose reader lesson will be covered in this book. Prose or language worksheets are also provided to reinforce the structures learned. Hindi Notebook 2. This notebook will be exclusively for grammar work. The topics covered in this book are as follows: Karak, Sangya, Sarvanam, Kriya, Visheshan and reading comprehension. Next comes creative writing. Interesting topics will be given to students to brainstorm their ideas for building the paragraphs. Picture composition is an effective tool for learning language. ये बच्चों के ऑब्जर्वेशन, विजुअल और एनालाइजिंग स्किल्स को डेवलप करता है. कहानी लेखन से बच्चों की कल्पना शक्ति का विकास होता है. They use the words learned and are able to frame sentences to develop an interesting story. Apart from this, art integrated and artificial intelligence activities will be a part of our teaching. Children use tools like Google Assistant and Google Lens to identify the correct pronunciation of the word, to find the word meaning and enhance their vocabulary. Uploading material. Hindi worksheets and consolidated notebook work will be posted on MCB after completion of each lesson. Revision worksheets of all the exams will be provided in MCB. Activities. सीखने के क्षेत्र में activity plays an important role. It makes the language more interesting and helps the learner to develop language skills further. हिंदी में विद्यार्थियों के oratory skills को develop और प्रदर्शित करने के लिए we conduct various activities such as class activities, assemblies, concerts and competitions. Let us have a glimpse of some of the activities which was conducted during the academic year 2022 and 2023. This year we will be conducting the following competitions for classes 3, 4 and 5. Students will be informed about these competitions through a flyer well in advance. Timely intimation of all the activities will be posted in the MCB. Learning Hindi is like learning any other language. It takes time and practice. अन्य भाषाओं की तरह हिंदी सीखने के लिए भी समय और अभ्यास की ज़रूरत होती है. Knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice. So dear parents, encourage your ward to speak Hindi. Make them read simple and short Hindi stories. उन्हें हिंदी की छोटी छोटी कहानियाँ पढ़ने के लिए प्रोत्साहित कीजिए. At ISWK, the team of Hindi teachers are proactive in offering the best learning experiences to our students. Let me introduce you with the team of Hindi teachers who are helping and supporting the students to gradually master the language. Dear parents, for queries if any, kindly approach the Hindi teacher of your ward in person or via email. Now I call upon the Academic Coordinator of Mathematics, Mrs. Bandana Thakur.
Thank you, Ms. Hemlata. Good evening, dear parents. On behalf of the Department of Mathematics, I, Mrs. Bandana Thakur, along with Mrs. Minnie Henry, welcome you to the mathematics orientation for classes 3, 4 and 5. Mathematics is all about becoming a creative thinker and not a calculator. Certain qualities like the power of reasoning, abstract and creative thinking, effective communication skills, special thinking, and problem-solving ability are fostered by mathematics. Dear parents, mathematics is a journey and not a destination. And to complete the journey of mathematics successfully, we have a very dynamic, vibrant, and enthusiastic team of teachers who work effortlessly and selflessly to facilitate and guide the students to make their journey of learning a joyful experience. Our team of teachers: Mrs. Bindu John, Mrs. Minnie Henry, Mrs. Sagaya Mary, Mrs. Jyoti Singh, Mrs. Flavia Castellino, Mrs. Bibi Khatija, Mrs. Poonam Joshi, Mrs. Manjula Harinarayan, Mrs. Soumya Nair, Mrs. Midat Fatima, Mrs. Veda Vijay, Mrs. Anjali Barla, Mrs. Rashmika Slikar, Mrs. Nikhat Tausif, and Mrs. Madhu Singh. And myself as Academic Coordinator of Mathematics. Our vision at ISWK is to create an environment of stress-free learning that instills self-responsibility and commitment towards life. We designed the mathematics curriculum to help all children see themselves as math people and see math as a tool to prepare them for future. Therefore, our main objective is to stimulate interest in the learning of mathematics, help students understand and acquire basic mathematical concepts and computational skills, develop creativity and the ability to think, communicate, and solve problems. Our students will develop an understanding of the basic number concepts. They will understand the 4 basic operations and perform them with speed and accuracy. They will master the basic concepts of geometry. They will learn how to collect, interpret, and represent data and information. They will develop self-confidence and become a successful problem solver. And they will learn how to think and connect mathematics and apply mathematical knowledge and skills to familiar and unfamiliar situations. A textbook is the basic teaching material to achieve the educational goals. We follow the textbook New Maths Time by Orient Blackstone. The book New Maths Time is a very high quality book that is in line with the National Curriculum Framework and follows the guidelines laid down by NCERT. Content and illustrations are student-centered. Every chapter has Math in Real Life, Get Started. And then we have high order thinking skills, activities section, and differentiated worksheet at the end of every chapter. Let us have a look at the chapters that will be covered during 2023-24. More important than curricula are the methods of teaching and the spirit in which the teaching is given. The new education policy has significant provisions and provides a platform to build, nurture, foster, encourage, and multiply mathematical thinking. Using innovative methods, the NEP provides the necessary nourishment by making mathematics enjoyable. According to NEP 2020, numeracy skills must be developed at the primary level. All students can learn mathematics and all students need to learn mathematics. Therefore, we use a systematic approach of teaching. We start a new chapter with a recall worksheet. New knowledge and skills are dependent on the pre-existing knowledge and skills. Knowing what students know and can do when they come into the classroom or before they begin a new topic of study helps us to craft activities and strategies that will help students to acquire new skills. Certain topics are well understood when they use hands-on activities. Hands-on activities help the students build interest and confidence in learning the subject. So we'll have hands-on activities so that they can visualize the subject. Videos and PPTs will be shown whenever it is required. Written work is an inseparable part when it comes to the teaching of mathematics. We will have regular classwork, which can be either textbook work, notebook work, or a worksheet. Homework will be given when the need arises. A flipped classroom concept. There is a very popular saying, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. The same is true for a teaching learning process. We will therefore use flipped classroom concept for a few topics. Mathematics needs constant practice and revision, and if this is not done, students tend to forget the concepts. We will provide a worksheet at the end of the chapter to reinforce the concept learned. Class tests will be conducted at the end of each unit to help us access the teaching learning process, after which remedial work will be done if required. Every student can learn, just not in the same way or on the same day. Therefore, we will measure and analyze each child's progress and create differentiated worksheets accordingly. We will use differentiated instructions if it is required. Once students are thorough with the concepts, we will help them to prepare for the exams. We will have revision worksheets. Mathemagica, the annual mathematics quiz, will be a great source of learning where every child will be allowed to participate in the preliminary round. This will help the students to develop their critical and logical thinking skills. As a part of joyful learning of mathematics and to understand the importance of mathematics in daily life, we will have Mathematics Day Assembly. We will also have math club activities which will further help the students to achieve better. Our classroom environment should be conducive to open collaboration, communication, creativity and critical thinking. This simply cannot be done when kids are sitting in a row all the day. Therefore, we will have indoor and outdoor games. We will give project assignments so that students can do proper research and understand a particular topic in a much more detailed manner. These can be either a subject enrichment activity or art integrated activity. Apart from these, we will have storytelling in mathematics, model making to encourage students to analyze and evaluate mathematics ideas, math talk to understand the importance of mathematics and know various ways to solve a problem, and basic mathematics to improve mental math. In short, our overall approach will be to expose our students to learning through hands-on activities. Assessment is an integral part of instruction as it determines whether or not the goals of education are being met. Our evaluation will be based on the performance of the students in written tests, classwork and homework, and subject enrichment activities. Collaboration is a key part of success of any organization executed to a clearly defined vision and mission and based on transparency and constant communication. Therefore, we'll give feedback whenever required and expect you to do the same. Parents are vital partners in education. They influence their children's attitude about learning and support learning at home. They are vital link between home and school. And when they become involved in the life of school, they make our schools better places to learn, grow, and thrive. As a team, parents and teachers can work together to create the best possible environment to foster students' physical, emotional, and intellectual well-being. Let us work together for the holistic development of our children so that they can have a secure future. Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to invite Mrs. Lubna and Mrs. Batul to brief you about the methods of teaching EVS.
Thank you, Vandana ma'am. A very good evening to everyone present here. On behalf of the Department of EVS of the Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir, I, Ms. Lubna Imran and Ms. Batul Safi warmly welcome you all to the Parent Orientation Program for EVS for the academic session 2023-2024. In this session, we shall guide you with some of the very important aspects related to the curriculum, teaching and learning objectives related to the subject. We at ISWK work together as a STAR team to achieve the organizational objectives, which is to provide an effective, collaborative and enjoyable learning experience to our students. Shown here is the group photograph of the dynamic team of Class 3 EVS teachers. Next, shown here on the presentation is the group photograph of the dynamic team of Class 4 EVS teachers. Coming next is the dynamic team of Class 5 EVS teachers. I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce our class coordinators at every grade level. For Class 3, it's Ms. Rashmi. For Class 4, it's Ms. Manjula. And for Class 5, it's Ms. Soumya. The subject of EVS, or Environmental Sciences, highlights the linkage between human beings and nature, together with the socio-cultural environment that we inhabit. This subject allows children to acquaint themselves with the immediate surroundings and makes them see the environment in a holistic way rather than a compartmentalized manner. It also aims to provide sustainable strategies in order to protect our environment, thereby resolving challenging environmental issues that affect nature. Enlisted here are the learning objectives of the subject, which will now be projected on the slide as follows. To provide an opportunity for children to explore, investigate, and develop an understanding of the natural, human, social, and cultural dimensions of the environment, to enable the children to live as caring members of the local, national, and global communities at large, to provide an appreciation for diversity, culture, language, religion, and habits, to enhance curiosity and creativity in relation to the environment and surroundings, to develop sensitivity and concern towards the poor, senior citizens, and the specially abled people. Next, we have the textbook series, The Fun with Environmental Studies for grades 3, 4, and 5. The students of grades 3, 4, and 5 use the shorter green book, while the students of grade 5 use the longer green book, which are a single line ruled books with a blank page on the left. The students are instructed to draw the diagrams and stick pictures on the left-hand side pages of the notebook, while the written material goes on the right-hand side of their notebooks. The scientific concepts taught in the classroom and all the learning resources for every chapter are very well supported in the form of worksheets, revision worksheets, handouts, and simple practical activities which help the learners develop cognitive and psychomotor skills. These skills are very much needed through their transition from primary to secondary school. Next, we have the teaching methods that we follow in the Department of EVS. As rightly said by Bertrand Russell, more important than the curriculum is the question of the methods of teaching and the spirit in which teaching is given. Keeping this motto in mind, we try to use numerous enjoyable learner-centered activities that are very well developed throughout the academic year by the competent faculty of the Department of EVS, which helps in the holistic development of the students. Experimentation. Contemporary issues like environment, pollution, conservation, and preservation help the young minds explore the science behind them, making learning experience an enjoyable and a fun one. To cooperate with each other and share their learning experiences to benefit the learning process. Demonstration. Providing opportunities for exploring their natural environment will give the students a hands-on learning experience rather than just merely memorizing the concepts taught. This enables us to provide them with interesting access to various scientific principles of nature. Using children's thoughts and ideas and deriving inferences from their personal reason and logic is of immeasurable value and boosts their interest towards the subject instead of rote learning. Shown here on the slides are the channels for various creative expressions performed by students throughout the academic year. Poster making, picture collage, model making, video making, role play, and discussion. The approach in EVS goes beyond the single subject approach and is therefore visualized as an integrated subject area as it draws insights from science, social studies, general knowledge, life skills, environmental education, and value education. Here are a few pictures that we would like to share of the various activities conducted in classes 3 to 5 integrating EVS topics to art and music. These activities aim to create awareness among the learners about the natural and socio-cultural environment, thereby developing critical thinking and problem-solving skills in the learners so that they can work towards the resolution of environmental problems. The activities planned for the academic year 2023-2024 are as follows. The Indian Superpowers of Science for the students of grade 3. With a view to promote the interest of science in students and to commemorate India at 75, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Department of EVS organizes the Indian Superpowers of Science and Technology competition to exclusively honor the contributions of Indian scientists to the field of science and technology. The Eureka Science Quiz for Class 4. After holding the online Eureka Science Quiz for 2 years, we are back again with yet another on-site season of Eureka Science Quiz, Season 6 for the students of Grade 4. The Eureka Earth Summit for the students of Grade 5. Our students of Grade 5 will be trained and guided by the respective subject teachers to make presentations on various topics like global warming, environmental pollution, and conservation and preservation. This is a great platform for the students to work on their research and communication skills as well. Excursions and in-house programs. This year, we plan to have the annual excursions, which are the much awaited time of the year for the students of grades 3 to 5. Field trips and other in-house activities are also planned in line for the students to create awareness about their surroundings and the importance of nature. Guest lecture. Industry is best at the intersection of science and art, rightly said by Edwin Herbert Land. With this motto in mind, the Department of EVS organized a guest lecture for the students of grade 5 last year. The guest speaker, Ms. Shahad Al-Wahebi, Marketing and Mobility Manager from Shell, Sultanate of Oman, delivered an informative lecture on the story of black gold and its conservation. Likewise, we also plan to have similar such events for our upcoming batch of students. Special assemblies. They are conducted at every grade level on topics of environmental concern or to commemorate important environmental dates like the World Environment Day and the World Food Day. This year, we have commenced with the World Earth Day Special Assembly, and we are delighted to share these pictures of the assembly conducted. A term-wise periodical, the e-bulletin, is published by the department highlighting all the activities conducted during the academic year. This pictorial presentation is a delight to view with all our students putting their best foot forward, sharing and supporting their learning experiences with a creative touch. It's feedback time now. Constructive feedback is the key to improvement. At ISWK, we constantly endeavor to uplift and stay abreast with the latest developments in the areas of science and technology. Keeping in this spirit, we have an Instagram account. Learning is fun at ISWK Primary. All the latest school updates are timely released by the department for the benefit of our parent community. We are also open to your feedback and suggestions, dear parents, and we hope to improvise ourselves to the need of the hour. So feel free to put in your thoughts, ideas, and suggestions time and again. As we now wrap up today's session, let us parents and teachers work together to build a responsible and competent generation. With this, I conclude my presentation. My best wishes for a fruitful academic year 2023-2024. Thank you. May I now call upon Rebecca ma'am for her presentation on computer science.
Thank you, Lubna ma'am. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. The benefit of information technology is that it empowers people to do what they want to do. It lets people to be creative. It lets people to be productive. It lets people to learn things they didn't think they could learn before. And so, in a sense, it's all about potential. Good evening, everyone. I, Rebecca Edwin, and my colleague, Mrs. Pooja Sampath, on behalf of the Computer Science Department Primary Wing, are glad to orient you for the classes 3, 4, and 5. The children participate enthusiastically in the computer classes because, apart from theoretical knowledge, computer science focuses more on the practicals, which the children tend to enjoy and learn more. The major objectives of computer education in our curriculum are developing the skills of using the technology in an efficient manner, build up children to be more logical, innovative, and creative in their work, help in taking a step towards introducing new technologies, developing step-by-step approach to solve a problem, apply theoretical knowledge into practical usage, help children to improve the skill of using computer beyond the computer lab. We have a computer lab, especially for classes 3, 4, and 5 in the third floor of the primary section with 45 computers with Windows 10 and MS Office 2016. Each child gets an opportunity to work at an individual computer. We will be having 2 computer classes per week, out of which
One will be a theory class, the other one will be a practical class. The textbook that we are going to follow this year is IT Planet Codebotics with Windows 10 and Office 2016. Students will not be using any notebook this year. Their textbook contains interesting exercises and fun-filled activities at the end of every chapter. After completing each chapter, the solved textbook exercises will be uploaded in NCB for your reference. To enhance their digital skills, the following software are introduced to the students. For class 3, we have Paint 3D and MS Word. For class 4, we have MS Word and MS PowerPoint. For class 5, we have MS Word, MS PowerPoint Advanced Version and MS Excel. In addition to that, children of classes 3, 4 and 5 will be taught a programming language Scratch at different levels. Scratch is a high-level block-based visual programming language aimed at children as an education tool. This will enable them to learn step-by-step approach to solve a problem. Another interesting fact about this new textbook is Artificial Intelligence for Kids. This is the art of teaching computers how to think. Artificial intelligence is a way of the future and allows students to become a creator of the latest technology. Various competitions will be conducted as a part of their learning to enhance the skills of these software. Let us watch a video of glimpse of Digi Savvy Hunt, the brilliant work of our young techies. Moving on to assessment, we have the pre-midterm and post-midterm examination for 20 marks. Midterm and final examination will also be conducted for 20 marks, but practical exam will also be there for 10 marks. Interesting subject enrichment activity will be given to be completed by the students for 5 marks. And this year, their textbook exercises and activities will also be evaluated. Since computer is a practical oriented subject, you can expect much of application oriented questions in their paper. Revision worksheet will also be given and the answers will be discussed in the class, and the same will be uploaded in the NCB for your further reference. These are some of the sample revision worksheets displayed for your reference. Here is a team of dynamic computer teachers of classes 3, 4 and 5. Technology is in our hands. Let's help our children to use it wisely. We expect and highly appreciate the cooperation of the parents. I wish you, dear parents and teachers, to have an excellent academic year 2023 and 2024. Thank you. Now, I would like to invite Mrs. Rashmi Patankar to take over.
Ma'am. A very good evening to all. I am Mrs. Rashmi Patankar, in charge of the Counseling and Special Needs Department called the ABLE along with Psychology subject. ABLE stands for Advise, Believe, Learn and Elevate, and that is what we aim to provide at ISWK. We want the children in our care to be happy and to view and experience school as a safe space filled with discovery, opportunity, and positive challenge. We firmly believe that happy students learn better, engage in a more meaningful way, and thereby get the most out of their school experience. As educators, we are concerned not only about the academic aspect of learning, but also ensuring the all-round well-being and mental health of our pupils. And this is where Team ABLE stands to support, guide and help not only the students but also our dear parents and amazing teachers. We are a vibrant and a robust team of behavior, career guidance counselors and special educators. I would now like to invite Mrs. Rohini Swaminathan to take you through the details of the services and support provided by the ABLE department. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. A very good evening to all the parents gathered here on this virtual platform this evening. I am Rohini Swaminathan, Counselor, KG and Primary Section of ISWK. I will be briefing you about the services offered by the ABLE department. We believe that all students can learn and succeed, but not in the same way and not in the same day. At ISWK, we follow the policy of inclusive education, which means no child is left behind. We provide the following services to our dear parents and students: guidance and counseling. Informal assessments in the form of classroom observations are carried out by the respective counselor or special educator. Identifying the special needs students in a classroom. Academic remedial sessions. Individual exam support for students of grade 3 to grade 5. External references in case if a child requires additional therapy in the form of occupational therapy, speech therapy or behavior therapy, we do refer them externally. Shadow support. The school facilitates shadow support for children with special needs. Parent individual sessions are carried out in the school. Assistance with regards to referrals. We also assist the parents and teachers in filling up the referral forms. The major areas where we primarily focus on are as follows: behavioral counseling. Behavioral counseling will be done by the school counselor depending on the behavioral concerns seen at school or at home regarding a child. Special needs support based on our observations and assessments. Academic remedials will be tailored to the child's needs by the special educator. Parental and teacher counseling. We offer guidance and counseling to the parents and teachers depending on the needs of the child. The procedure followed in our department is as follows. Referral form. A referral form is usually filled in by the parent or the teacher. In case of higher grades, we also have a provision of self-referrals. Once the referral forms are filled, observations are carried out by the respective counselor or special educator. Once the observations are completed, counseling sessions commence for both parents and students depending on the need. Informal assessments in the form of classroom observations are carried out by the respective counselor or special educator. Dear parents, kindly note no formal psychoeducational assessment is done at school. Once the referral form is filled, observations are carried out, and if we feel there is a child who needs additional assistance or support from our department, it is mandatory that parents sign in a parent consent form to avail any kind of assistance from our department. Special education program in the form of IEPs are also designed by the special educator for our SEND students. External references are also provided just in case if a child requires therapies such as occupational therapy, behavior therapy, or speech therapy. Dear parents, this is how you can access the referral form from our school website, which is www.iswkoman.com. COVID-19 was a challenging phase for all of us. It was even more challenging for our dear children who were confined to the four walls of their respective houses. We noticed a significant amount of change in their behavior, both positive as well as negative. The major findings were as follows. Unmonitored gadget exposure. Children learned faulty behavior and inappropriate language from the various forms of media available to them. Dear parents, it is recommended that you monitor your child's screen time. Gadget exposure. Children became dependent on a particular game and started imitating what was shown on their screen in their behavior without even realizing it. It is recommended that you monitor the content being watched through various gadgets. Dear parents, it is suggested that you set a timer for their screen time. Regular follow-up. The learning gap in children increased due to COVID-19. It is strongly recommended that regular follow-up is done at home with regards to your child's education. We need to ensure that their foundation is strong in learning. Filtering content, what children share at home. Children do come home and share a lot of information on what has happened in school. It is suggested that you filter the contents on what is being shared with you. For any doubts or clarification, always communicate with the class teacher or the subject teacher concerned. Last, parenting style or pattern. It is important to strengthen parent-child relationship, so therefore it is recommended that your parenting style is firm. You don't have to be too strict or lenient at the same time. Dear parents, it is suggested that you have ground rules for your children at home to follow. Regular workshops, competitions and activities are planned as well as conducted by the ABLE team for the students, teachers and for parents as well. For regular updates, follow us on our Instagram page, which is able_ISWK. Dear parents, the contact details of our team members are visible on your screen. Kindly feel free to approach us for any kind of assistance. I would like to end my presentation with a quote. Coming together is beginning. Keeping together is progress. And working together is success, by Henry Ford. Thank you parents for your kind attention. I now hand over the session to Mrs. Asha Mohan, who will brief about the co-scholastic activities.
Thank you, Rohini ma'am, for that crisp and quick gist on the importance and value of maintaining good mental health and a brief on the ABLE team as well. The development of a child's body and mind demand proper nurturing of their physical and intellectual qualities. These are major determinants of a child's personality. Therefore, modern approaches of education emphasize on the all-round development of a child. A very good evening, dear parents. Today, I, Asha Mohan, the activity coordinator of the primary school, will brief you on the importance of co-scholastic education, especially post-COVID, a brief on the curriculum, activities and competitions that we have planned for this academic year, and the criteria that will be adopted to grade the children. So let's begin with understanding as to what exactly is co-scholastic. Co-scholastic are activities undertaken along with academics which are carried both inside and outside the classrooms and are embedded in the curriculum with a clear objective. The two main objectives of co-scholastic activities are: 1. They are designed to supplement the academic curriculum and facilitate experiential learning that leads to enhanced understanding of the subject. And 2. To reap the immense benefits and crucial learning that experiential learning brings in. With these objectives in mind, let me introduce you to the vibrant, energetic and versatile co-scholastic team. From the music department, we have Mr. Stanley, who's our brass band facilitator. Mrs. Snehal Jani will be training the children in Indian vocal music. And myself, Mrs. Asha Mohan, will be the Western vocal music teacher. In the art department, we have Mr. Sandeep Banerjee and Mrs. Samreen Syed. And in the dance department, we have Mrs. Vinita KP and Mrs. Harsha Dave. The energetic PE department comprises of Mr. Shifas as the PE coordinator, Mr. David Kennedy, Mrs. Angeline, Mr. Sijo, Mr. Pranav, who's our facilitator for yoga, and Mrs. Lisa, who will be training the children on aerobics. It is a well-known fact that the positive impact that academic subjects ensure across different levels. However, by teaching co-scholastic subjects parallelly with the scholastic subjects, there is proper continuity of academic learning because these activities help to maintain stable emotional and physical health. Not only that, business executives these days consider soft skills to be a very important attribute in job applicants, and co-scholastic does the magic. One of the salient features of the CBSE curriculum is to give equal importance to the education developing the skills in art, health and physical education and to integrate them with the academic subjects. In this regard, the NEP 2020 states that there will be no hard separation among curricular or co-curricular activities. The NEP allows students to select a varied combination of subjects without restricting them to singular streams and adds subjects such as physical education, arts and crafts and vocational skills to the school curriculum. According to the CBSE and NEP 2020 and in our constant endeavor to provide our students a choice for a variety of creative, fine and performing arts, this academic year we have brought in the AMD option, wherein the students were given a choice to choose between art, music, dance and brass band, for which a circular was issued. Children have chosen their preference and we have tried our best to give them their first preference. The classes are progressing effectively. However, dear parents, just to clarify, kindly note that only the activity chosen as first preference will be imparted throughout the academic year. The curriculum for class 3 will cover the basic concepts of the respective art forms, application of the concepts, few fun activities, and also some topics which will be integrated to scholastic subjects. For example, the concept of fraction in math will be integrated with music to explain the concept of rhythm. This not only emphasizes the link between scholastic and co-scholastic, but also the concept in both math and music will be thorough and interesting. On the other hand, classes 4 and 5 will be an extension of what is learned in class 3. So by the end of class 5, the child would have mastered the basic concepts of the chosen art form. The academic year consists of 2 sessions. Session 1 from April 2023 to September 2023 and Session 2 from October 2023 to March 2024. Grading will be done during these periods. The evaluation criteria for art, music and dance are performance and interaction during regular classes, understanding of the basic theory taught, maintaining the notebook, if any, and participation in various activities. We will be having music and dance competitions in the month of October this academic year. The children will not only be trained in the respective art forms, but will also be enlightened on the value and importance of teamwork parallelly. I attend to my fitness. I go to the gym every day and try to maintain my physical fitness. Without that, it is tough to take challenges on the chessboard. By chess wizard Vishwanathan Anand. With this energetic quote, let us step into the arena of physical education, which is an important aspect in co-scholastic. Post-COVID, the world has become fitness freak, and physical education, being an integral part of the education process, has a hidden curriculum in inculcating character values such as grit and resilience, which are often part and parcel of the PE curriculum. They are believed to be stronger predictors of high achievement than intelligence, talent, and other personality traits. The objective, thus, is the development of a physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially fit citizen through the medium of physical activities which have been selected with a view to realizing these outcomes. It covers not only outdoor games and activities, but also includes aerobics and yoga. Mens sana in corpore sano is a famous saying by the Roman poet Juvenal and means a healthy mind in a healthy body. There is a lot of truth in it indeed. A rested and well-balanced body forms the base for a well-functioning mind and vice versa. And that's exactly the aim of the physical education curriculum at ISWK. And undoubtedly, that's the reason that our esteemed school has received the Fit India certificate from the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India. The games and sports activities in school includes activities and games conducted in the PE classes during school hours and at the ISWK Academy, which offers evening coaching classes after school hours. The evaluation for physical education is based on participation and performance, which includes performance in fitness assessment, inter-house competitions, inter-class competitions, and discipline. The ISWK Sports Academy, which started in the year 2019, is a full-circle facility designed to update the way students and youth approach human performance by creating a multi-platform environment that activates, educates, and provides an opportunity for students to unlock their full potential. The games included in the academy is displayed on the screen, and the venues are the senior school, the primary school and the international school premises. The complete details of the schedule and venue of the ISWK Sports Academy are available in the school portal under Sports and Games. We'll be having the aerobic and yoga competition in the month of August and October respectively this academic year. The magnificent Mega Sports Day event is scheduled in the month of November this academic year. The children will be motivated and trained by our dynamic and zestful PE facilitators in true sportsman spirit. For detailed information on sports and games, kindly check the column Sports and Games in the school website or contact the PE Department Primary Wing Sports Coordinator at shifas@iswkoman.com. Now, dear parents, let us watch a video depicting the various activities that were conducted in the academic year 2022-23. We hope that you enjoyed the video. To conclude, dear parents, I would like to say that before we rush to pressure and push our children out of the arts, let us think more carefully and listen more attentively to the voices and hearts of these young minds. Let us ignite and fan their passion and encourage a broad liberal education, which is the sole motto of our prestigious school that values them as young people with hearts as well as minds, with dreams as well as ambitions. We look forward to your support and continued cooperation in our future endeavors. Thank you. Over to Shifasa, who will be briefing you on a few general guidelines which are expected to be adhered in the school.
Thank you, Asha ma'am, for the briefing on co-scholastic activities. A very good evening, dear parents. Today, I, Shifas PB, the PE coordinator of the primary school, will be taking you through the general guidelines. To begin with, let me tell you that safety is our priority. We believe that the two key elements to creating safety in the school are repetition and getting the students involved. Repetition reinforces the rules, while getting the kids involved reinforces and empowers them. Our teachers and the ABLE team enlighten the children on physical, social, emotional, and cyber safety by frequently repeating and involving the children in the same. With regard to transport safety, we have introduced two key initiatives that we have begun this year. Yes, we have two dispersal time, one for transporters and another for parents. This will reduce overcrowding in the corridors. Two, the buses are parked just opposite the school to ensure that the children do not have to walk much to board the bus. Also, there are teachers and support staff on duty in the morning and during the dispersal time to guide and control the children as well as the transport. Another important aspects, dear parents, we want to share is about the backpack safety. It is imperative that the child carries books as per timetable only. Overloading the bag overloads the body, plus prolonged improper posture at the young age, and it will affect the child's physical structure and health, eventually seen in the picture. The child should always be encouraged to carry the bag using both straps and adjust the straps in a way that the bag is above the waist. Should not cause child to hunch or restrict the arms. Next, about our school uniform. Based on the timetable, it's mandatory for the students to wear the grey uniform or the PE uniform with white socks and black shoes. The uniform must be clean and ironed and shoes must be polished. Students are allowed to wear colored clothes on their birthdays. However, please note the clothes have to be formal and befitting a school. During winter, students are expected to wear plain, dark, navy blue, full sleeve pullovers or sweaters as seen you can see in the picture. Students in improper uniform will be face disciplinary action. Next, regarding promotion, a student is eligible for promotion to the next class on obtaining minimum of 40% on aggregate in each subject and should have a minimum of 80% attendance with a minimum of 40% attendance in each subject. Now, let me brief you on code of conduct. Students are expected to maintain a high standard in their general behavior and manner of speech. Use of improper language is not acceptable. English being the medium of instruction in the school, students are advised to speak in English except their vernacular classes. Students should be well behaved, respectful to their elders, honest and truthful. They are answerable to the school authorities for their conduct in and outside the school. Students should have a deep respect for and dedication to their work Attentiveness in class and regularity in homework and assignments are of prime importance. Personal hygiene and neatness are essential. Hair must be neatly groomed and nails cut. Students are expected to report latest by 7:15 a.m. and join the General Assembly, which begins at 7:25 a.m. Students are expected to move to and from classroom after assembly, PE classes, library, music class, laboratories in silence and in orderly manner. Students must not only keep their classroom but also the school campus neat and tidy. They should be particularly careful to avoid littering the area. The bins are provided, please make use of that. Chewing gum is forbidden in the school. A support team of responsible students, we call it as prefects and monitors, is selected and elected every year to look after the discipline of the school and to assist the teachers. Students must obey them all the times. Lockers have been provided to the students of class 5 to lessen the load of their bags. However, they should be refrained from using them while a lesson is in progress. Students will not be allowed to use lockers after the school hours. The upkeep of the locker is the sole responsibility of the student. If the locker is damaged or the key is lost, the student will have to compensate the loss. No leave of absence is granted except for valid reason and only on prior written application by parents in the school almanac on page number 151. During class hours, students should not leave the classroom. They are not allowed to leave the school premises without the permission of the principal, vice principal, or admin in any personal emergency. A detail on the disciplinary action will be taken by school in case of deviation from the code of conduct is mentioned in the pages of 44 and 45 in the school almanac. Parents, with regard to the evaluation, please note, prior to the exam, the subject-wise syllabus will be uploaded on the school website. The syllabus for all exams except the pre-midterm is cumulative. Any change in the mode of exam will be communicated through email. There will be PTM conducted during the course of year to discuss the progress of your ward. Hence, it is imperative that you attend the PTM without fail. In case you need to meet the class teacher or subject teacher for discussing the progress of your child, kindly take a prior appointment. Parents, guidelines pertaining to examinations is given in page number 37 of the school almanac. Parents, let me announce a quick message from the infirmary. Parents are requested to update the contact details in the ERP portal, both father's and mother's phone number. If your ward is unwell or is having medical problems, kindly notify to the class teacher as well as the school nurse. You are requested to submit the relevant documents to the school nurse in case your ward is on regular medication. Fee of your ward can pay through three modes. In the school fee counter in a main school, you can pay online through MCB app or you can pay through modern exchange. Now parents, for the precise vacation dates for this academic year, it will start from 6th June to 1st August. And for winter breaks, will start from 17th December 2023 to 8th January 2024. Please note, important numbers and mail IDs are given in page number 6 and 36 in the school almanac. If you have any queries, you can contact the person. Parents, please visit our school website frequently to keep yourself updated on circulars, exam dates, achievements of the school, and other school activities. For the holistic development of your child, we request you to kindly assist in the following. Develop reading skills through different activities by reading of storybooks, encyclopedias, picture dictionaries, etc. Time management skill by following a timetable and abiding by it. Enhancing teamwork and cooperation like helping at small jobs in the kitchen, running a small errands. Dear parents, I would like to take a note of J&D. At the end of the day, the most overwhelming key to the child's success is the positive involvement of parents. Looking forward to your support and cooperation for all our future endeavor. Thank you, parents. Thank you for your patience and listening to us. Now I request our principal, D.N. Rao sir, to address the August virtual gathering. Once again, thank you, parents.
Thank you, Mr. Shifas, for exhaustive and detailed information and guidelines and instructions. Hope the parents might have noted. However, this presentation we will keep it in our on our school website and also ERP and the school YouTube channel. We'll be having this presentation. So as and when any doubts or any clarifications, you can refer this. And apart from that, I have been answering good number of questions, roughly around a half century questions are there from the parents. I appreciate the concerns and all. And some of the concerns that I wanted to answer maybe live, because there are a number of questions and the response, I'm not getting enough time to type. Therefore, I prefer to answer live. Most probably around 33 questions are answered already, and then another 17 questions are there. So we'd like to take up these 17 questions online, live, so that parents will get the clarity, and somewhere even where I'm not having any detailed information, maybe the vice principal or the respective department teachers will be able to answer this. So the first question, which is not answered already, is we request to put up the day-to-day class studies, maybe the classwork and homework in Google Classroom as in the past. It will assist the parents to cross-check the child's book of keeping the works up to date. Yes, parents, this is to inform you. Google offered good services during the pandemic time, including recording facility of the classes and even storing the lesson plans or study materials. And after that, after the pandemic, we have received an email from the Google Workspace service provider. And henceforth, it will not be possible for us to extend the support free of cost, for which now, if you want to continue the services through Google, each teacher and each child has to purchase license. So therefore, now it will not be possible for us to purchase individual licenses for the teachers, as we have roughly around 300 teachers at our place. Another main reason, not only for that one additional cost, even if we use this over a period of time, suddenly if something happens or if something that we wanted to dissociate from Google Classroom, the school is not the owner of the materials or resource materials which we are uploading. Hence, we decided, henceforth, let us have our own independent server and independent ERP system. So we worked out and we have developed our own school server, and then all these materials are going to be stored on our school server as well as in the school ERP, and the ERP that the data is stored in Amazon Web Services. So that is the internationally approved web services, cloud-based, so that anybody can access from anywhere. So this is to update you that henceforth the school will not be using the Google Classroom. And the next question is, in case the kid is sick and absent, the worksheets and missed work will be assisted by the teachers or not? When the children are not feeling well, definitely no teacher will say no. So every teacher is ready to assist you. And at the same time, these worksheets and all study materials, whatever we have, sample papers, question bank, notes, synopsis, everything, any related classwork or homework Everything is posted on our Google Class, on our school ERP, and you also get a notification there. So then what we want is on Saturday, from 8:30 a.m. we are going to arrange for entire school, all the parents, one session on our school ERP system, the features available both in web portal and also mobile app. So my request to all the parents, please attend that and get familiarized with the both ERP and also mobile app, so that most of your questions can be answered. Another one, the question which we have, may I know what is the process to become head boy or head girl? Shan sir, would you like to answer or shall I answer it?
Yes, sir, I'll do it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, good evening, dear parents, once again. The performance of the children in the previous academic year is of paramount importance, and class teachers and all teachers that teach that particular class have a vital role to play. And as we know that a class 4 child moving to class 5 is obviously going to be a part of the student council when he or she qualifies. So a very close watch is had on each child, and the teachers make their own, let's say, reports and records. To begin with, at the outset, every child, his performance academically is taken into consideration. We look at the number of A pluses scored by the child, and based on the number of A pluses, a certain pointing score is given against each child. After that, we look at the participation of the child in various activities, whether it's class, inter-school, inter-competitions, inter-house competitions, and what prizes they have won. Everything has a scoring pattern. So that itself is also considered and kept in mind. We mustn't forget the fact that exams and competitions are conducted by the school. A mention was made of it with regard to the Olympiads itself. So that also is considered and points are given for that. Other activities in the form of the SEA, performance of the child itself, that is subject enrichment activities, also carry points. Last but not the least, we look at the leadership skills of that particular child. Now, you might all come to the point and say, I'm the parent, I know my child has leadership qualities. But this idea and observation is made from a classroom perspective, where the class teacher, subject teachers have their points, and very clearly remarks are put across in that overall say report that's prepared by each class teacher. When that entire report is ready and the shortlisting takes place, we obviously take students who have made it to the top in terms of points, and then that is shortlisted list is out. After that shortlisted list is out, a viva is conducted. We have an interview session that is conducted exclusively by senior teachers, by the academic coordinator, supervisor, myself, all of us involved in that. And children are asked pertinent questions that reflect exclusively to their role in a student's council. So it's looking at the kind of ideas they have, what they expect, and so on and so forth. That, again, once conducted, pointing system is put into place, and further shortlisted candidates thereafter are then eligible for exclusive posts based on their competencies for the Students' Council, and then they go up for the voting selection that is done before they are invested. That is the process.
Thank you, Mr. Shan, for detailed explanation. I hope the parents will understand the process. And there is one more very important point. I said, please reduce the fee. In compared of ISM, our fees are very high. So, dear parents, each Indian school has its own ifs and buts, casts, and when it comes that even there are some Indian schools which are under the board of directors of Indian schools, having even higher fee than Indian school Wadikabir. So, but however, Indian school Wadikabir is the first school to start how best we can assist or help the needy parents. Earlier in the school, we used to have a fee discount or fee concession. So somewhere that is not going well. and there is no fixed criteria, and it has become difficult for the parents so to define or to produce necessary documents and all. So hence the school management has decided instead of, because education is not the commodity which is to be offered as some discount like Lulu or any other stores which offer the discounts on the things which are now maybe on sale and all. But in school scenario, education is the one which is dynamic and ever changing and providing facilities to the children. Therefore, we wanted to find out the alternatives to help the needy parents. So hence we instituted, because the first man to start the schools in Oman is our none other than Sheikh Kanakshi Kimji. And in honor of that, promoter or founder of the schools, so our school started Kanakshi Kimji scholarships. One is called as need-based scholarship. For that, the parents who are having monthly income less than 500 OMR are eligible to apply for this. And then these applications will be reviewed and scrutinized, and with the supporting documents, the criteria is given. You can get this criteria from school, maybe from Mrs. Shirley, or from even respective class teachers and all. We will be able to provide you. And then on submitting or furnishing the required documents and applying this within I think the date given is May 30th. Before May 30th, if we can apply, those parents will be able to get, based on the first child, some percentage is there, second child, some percentage is there, third child, some percentage is there. So up to 3 children, the school is going to help the financial assistance to the need-based scholarship. And at the same time, to encourage, the school has come up another scholarship called as merit scholarship. So under the merit scholarship, there are further 3 categories. One is the academic merit to encourage these children. There also the children are supposed to apply for this scholarship who scores more than 90%, and that based on the applications which we get it for class first, second, third. That means class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, like that. Initially, this is started from class 3 onwards. So like that, so there is an academic merit scholarship. Not only academic merit scholarship, we also have games and sports scholarship. So that we are also going to, if any child is doing extremely well in any games and sports, participating at various levels like CBSE cluster or national set in India. So such children will be given the Games and Sports Merit Award. And apart from that, there are also another one called as Co-Scholastic Merit Scholarship. Like, for example, our school has been doing extremely well in co-scholastic activities, like, for example, Indian School Quiz, IS Quiz, or Times of Oman Quiz, or Polemic Challenge, like Ambassador Polemic Challenge. So such type of competitive examinations, whoever is performing and standing first, such children also will be given co-scholastic merit scholarship. So to conclude, there are 4 scholarships that we are offering under Kanakshi Kimji scholarships. One is need-based scholarship. Another one is merit-based scholarship. Under that, we have 3. One is academic. Second is games and sports. Third one is co-scholastic. So this is what, so all the eligible parents can apply for that. So next one, my son joined this year. Is there any special attention or classes for the language student in learning Hindi, as it is a new subject for him? Definitely the school will help you and the teachers will take a note of this. And however, you are requested to be in touch with the respective subject teacher and also the coordinator of the department. Try to get the maximum benefit from the school. So not to worry, that is our assurance. And there is another question called, again, Asha can answer this question. Activity participation like music, dance, and sports school activity participation. Can you tell us how the process of selection is done and when? Can the school assembly, CAIR, or any event school does outside, as we have been trying, or participation, and teachers have replied, we will be advised as and when required. 1 month is over and we haven't heard back at an assembly why all the same faces of children get to participate in all the school events, why no new child is trained or given a chance. So I think that there is a lot of material given by her. Asha, do you have an answer to this or shall I answer it?
I'll just give first 2 sentences. You can take it up from there, sir. This is just to give a clarity that last year, the students, those who performed for all the activities, the events were totally different. We had different groups. There was no child who was not given a chance. Those who were interested got a chance. There were totally new faces. We ensured that maximum students got opportunities to perform last year. And we will adopt the same this year also. But the year has just begun and we are in the process of choosing, shortlisting, training. And I ensure that, and I assure you that towards the end of the year, you will be happy that your board has got enough opportunities.
Okay.
You can take over, sir.
Thank you, Asha. And the same parent is writing, annual fees, can we get a breakup on the annual fees? There is an instruction from the ministry or from the board of directors of Indian schools. Because of the VAT implication, though no school is giving a breakup of this fee. And it will not be possible for us to again violate the rules and regulations of the school system here. If there is any parent has any issue, they can write to us, then we will explain to you clearly. There's nothing to hide anything. So the next one is library services. We have been in the school since grade 1 by when the child use the school library. I think Shansa, can you answer this library services at primary?
Yes, sir. Parents, class 1 have a library that is in the classroom itself. So they have a classroom library. However, now in the new premise, we have a certain classroom which is used as a library for them. So they visit it and they read books there. Class 2 likewise have a similar library in their own respective classrooms. 3, 4, and 5 onwards visit the library itself, which is on the in the penthouse of the primary building. Classes 3 and 4 visit the library. The class teacher or the library teacher escorts the teacher there, the children there, and the children are given books and they read. At the end of the lesson, they go back to the class. Class 5, however, is given the option to borrow books. Books are borrowed by them and taken home. At this point of time, we haven't begun doing that for class 5 as yet because they didn't have their calendars. So they were coming into the library, reading the books and obviously going back. Now that the calendars are in and books are going to begin to be issued, so children will get that opportunity to take it away. One thing we need to keep in mind is that the moment we come in close to long vacations like the summer break, books need to be taken back. And that is where we are being a little cautious, so that if the child stays, the book stays with the child over the vacation. We've had many cases coming in where the children have said, sorry, ma'am, sorry, sir, we've lost the book, we can't trace it. So to avoid that complication and to save problems, we have decided that when things are down and settled well, books will be issued to class 5 with immediate effect.
Thank you, Shan. Another point which I want to add with regards to library, preferably by the end of this academic year, we are trying to convert all the books in the library into digital copies. And we are going to make our library as a digital library where students can get an access 24/7. Anytime from anywhere they can get access. Gone are the days where only you have to go for the library and take the book and all. Instead of that, we are trying to make our library accessible any point of time from anywhere. So the next point, again, with regards to art, music, dance. So I think this point I may not agree what she has written clearly. And I think better not to enter into the area of school administration, what we need to do, how we need to operate the school. So better less we discuss on that point. The next one is language. Yes, being an English medium school, we always insist upon anybody either a visitor or a teacher or a student to communicate only in official language, that is English. However, in certain instances, in the premises, we happen to see either the parents or the vendors or even some of the staff or children communicating in their own language. So that I think we have to be very serious in once we are entering the premise. That is one of the reasons why we are restricting the parents or restricting the vendors or any other service persons during the academic period not to enter the academic area, classroom area. So they need to only deal with the administration or vice principal, or if any parent wants to meet the respective subject teacher at school premises or class teacher with prior appointment, so that there is exclusively one room where there is the vice principal is available or teachers are available, they can come and discuss about the progress of the child in systematic way, but not to enter into the classroom area. Even sometimes, even one of the questions which I answered already, some parents are asking why not we are allowed to carry the bags, tiffin bags or anything up to the classrooms, small children and all. So we are having such facility only in KG1, KG2. There also we are trying to minimize that. So that the moment what happens, some of the children, when they happen to see the parents of other children, they start crying for their parents. So to have a good environment at school, we are now restricting the entry of the parents into the classroom areas. And also, most of the parents are preferring to park their vehicles just opposite to the school gate. And when you park your vehicle and you go to up to the classroom and come back, up to till that time that there is a traffic congestion. We have roughly 3,000 students there in primary, and it will not be possible for us to allow you to park your vehicle that much time. Preferably, you can park your vehicles just opposite to the primary school playground and avoid parking the vehicles near the school gate. Let us give a little bit room for the school buses there. Okay, I think we request all the parents to cooperate with us in this regard. The safety is important. And next one we have, already we have answered about art, music, dance. Okay, and there actually we do appreciate. Again, there is one question, sir, you answered that child can change the art, music, dance, and they can learn 2 subjects. What I mean to say is, as Asha Madam mentioned clearly, in the beginning of the academic year, we are giving you Google form. And out of 3 subjects, art, music, dance, any one the child can, as a first child, they can take it. But over a period of time, sometimes it happens, parents may, what area they are interested, they only take that, not taking the interest of the child. Therefore, the child after few days or months, they find it is very difficult to go with that same subject. And then we don't want the child to suffer the whole academic year. So we tell them, next semester you can change the subject. So therefore, if any child is not able to find the ease of that particular subject which is chosen, they will be given option to change the subject. Not every month or not as and when. So that's the reason now. In this semester, if you have taken one, next semester you can change one. We have 2 semesters in a year. One is from April to August or September, and from there, after the half-yearly examination, the second semester starts. Any parents or any children finding it difficult what they have chosen now, they can change the next one. Or there also, suppose if there are chances, child wants to have both now. First 6 months they want to learn art, next 6 months they want to learn dance, that also is possible. Hope this point is clear. Let us give that option, Mr. Shyam. Okay, next one. School bag again. Right now, as I mentioned, lockers are provided at class 5 level because they have little more content and textbooks are little heavy and notebooks. In fact, in most of the schools now, this is a big problem everywhere. And even Kothari Commission itself mentioned a lot of suggestions. So what they are doing now, instead of carrying the notebook for every subject, they bring some loose sheets in a spiral binding. They write that subject wise, and after going home, they take the papers and put the subject wise folders. And over a period of months or half yearly or whatever that allows throughout the academic year, they maintain the subject folders. So in that case, only instead of all notebooks, only one notebook can be carried. And also another one, the textbooks. Preferably, teachers can suggest that which is necessary to bring not all the textbooks, because we are now having PDF versions of every textbook. And also we are going to show that textbook onto our digital, the smart board in the classroom while explaining it. Let's not insist upon to carry the textbook. So somewhere we have to work on this. Maybe class teachers and the coordinators and vice principal can look into this, how to reduce the bag load. And also sometimes you need to check that whether they are necessary or not, children just like that carry. And then one wonderful suggestion is given, please arrange to issue participation certificates at least to the students who are participating in the competitions announced by the school. Definitely, sir, we will take care of that. Another one, somebody is asking about introducing ID cards. Yes, we are going to introduce ID card with RFID. I think most of the people are maybe knowing that, what is RFID. And this can be used in school premises, maybe for even canteen purchases or library books issue or any other access to the school, all those things. And also we are going to segregate into three categories. One is school monitored transport bus services. We are not owning the buses. We are only taking the help of outsourced services from the vendors. Only as per the ministry guidelines, we are going to monitor whether the safety measures are in place or not. More than that, we are not in a position to control that bus transport system. And for that also, as of now, we do not have any data available. How many are using bus? How many are using their own transport? How many are using third-party transport? So therefore, first my request is preferably prefer school monitored transport. Second one, if at all, if you are willing to go for, again, your own transport. So while issuing the ID cards, we will be having different color ID cards for bus transport and own transport and third-party transport. One, only as a principle, what I say is third-party transport, we may not be having any control on that. Example, I'll tell you, in the past occasions, whenever that ROP comes near to the school, during that pickup time, these all private transports will move away from that place, leaving the children at school premises. And at that point of time, it is becoming too much difficult for us to inform the parents and informing them, calling them to pick up and all. So these problems are there. Considering all these things, so preferably either of this, either your own transport, if you are able to drop and pick up, that will be better, or take the school transport. So that will ease the situation. And ID cards for each is, easy way of identifying the children and all. And also we are going to segregate class-wise assembly points under the shade in the playground area. Another good news I want to give to the parents, maximum we are trying to cover. As of now, what is happening, primary ground is full of soil. There is no grass. And it is very difficult for us to manage or maintain natural grass. So therefore, now these days, everywhere people are preferring artificial grass. And we have experimented at our main school premises. 5-6 years back, we had it. Now again, we are refurbishing it with a new one. So similarly, simultaneously, we are now planning to cover our primary school ground also with artificial grass. Therefore, once it is done, I think our cleanliness at washrooms will be improved. Right now, what's happening after playing at school ground, children go to the wash area and where they drop some water, and this all the dust on the shoes, it goes to the floor and floor becomes dirty. And somewhere we need to even train the students about the toilet tactics, not to make the floor dirty. I think Shansar, let us make some task force and give some training to the children how best we can use and maintain our washroom areas. And next one we have My child is in 3A. I think more questions are coming from 3A. Let's see that how best we can address these issues. I would agree with some of the parents regarding very frequent home assignments. In fact, I would suggest involvement of students in groups. Yeah, I think this is very wonderful session. Learning, like collaborative learning, is very important. Most of the work will be done at the school, and also some reinforcement of learning will be at home. We do not mean that parents need to spend lots of hours, but at the same time, if parents involve, that creates a supporting environment, as our Shifas explained, that gives positive. My parents are with me. That supports that, little secure feeling will be there with the child. Okay, if you are changing the uniform next year, instead of pinafore, please change it to either. Not to worry, we are going to take few samples from the vendors, and then we ask the children to wear on one particular day, and we invite parents also to for about a week time to visit during that time, look at the uniform, and then we display the uniform at school premises. We'll take the feedback from parents, feedback from staff, feedback from students who are wearing actually. Then we will decide what to go for it. And we are not overnight changing anything. And also, there may be some issues because some parents already purchased good number of uniform sets, and immediately they may not be able to go for new one. We are going to give a leverage period of another 1 year, so that they can use all these existing uniforms. Then they can buy, whenever it is possible for them. But we will not give more than 2 years time. And then we will be able to go for next question. In our mobile phone, MCV is not working, as some parents are saying that in laptop it is showing, but every time do not carry laptop. No, I think that on Saturday you can explain this problem so that guy will be able to solve your issues. It is a highly effective mobile app. In fact, all Indian schools their parents are appreciated that Wadi Kabir ERP system mobile app. In fact, they are started inquiring with me, sir, what is the price? How can we go about it and all? And they are not having 1 or 2 schools. They are having more than 1,000 schools with them. And they need more parent class teacher meeting sessions. It is as per the need base. It's not parent teacher meetings are there 3 weeks. And apart from that, as per the need, if any parent wants to meet, they can send a mail to the subject teacher or class teacher on what issues and all. And also we'll also take some survey, quarterly survey. What are the areas that we are not attending regularly? We have concerns. Based on the feedback of the parents, based on the concerns and all, over a period of time, it is very difficult to make the any school administrator like principal or vice principal or management to give a 100% perfect picture. As the challenges are keep on coming, and we start answering it with the support of the parents. So I think we work on your feedback and give you the best services at Wadi Kabir. And let me tell you, last 5 years, Wadi Kabir is the only Indian school getting academic excellence at Gulf level. In Gulf GCC countries, we have roughly 200 schools, but the last 5 years continuously, we have been getting that. And also this year, particularly last academic year, our student, Ayappan, she got NEET topper, NEET medical entrance examination topper. Outside India, there are 27 countries where this examination is conducted. She is the topper of that. And also similarly, only teacher from our school, she got the best teacher award from all the 27 countries. So quality is there here, and that shows even the traffic on our school website. If anyone knows technology, that we will be able to show you what is the traffic on our website. Then you go for search engine optimization. Please give summer vacation in the month of April and May, as in India in June. So this is not possible in Gulf area. we have to go by the Ministry of Education and Board of Directors of Indian Schools guidelines. Like in India, we will not be able to parallel to India. And let me not promise wrong promise on this area. Request you to consider holidays for South Indian festivals too. It is not South Indian festivals, North Indian festivals. Majority of the festivals, important festivals, we do give. For example, Onam, we give. It is also South Indian festival. And school don't discriminate. It is South Indian, North Indian, West Indian, East Indian, not like that. So we take the calendar of CBSE, and also sometimes we also take the local importance, significance. Then we declare the holidays. Next one, AMD selection at this age seems incorrect, as kids need to know music, dance, regular basis. I think I don't want to go for further elaboration on this. This is the school policy. We will go by that. And please give the option for selection of Gujarati language. Yes, definitely. We have applied to CBSE. Most probably next academic year, we look into this. And also, let me tell you, recently Indian government changed that, brought national education policy. As per that, we have to offer the regional languages, but as a school, to have a financial viability, at least when we offer this language, we need to have good number of students to take that. For the sake of 5, 6, 10 children, we will not be able to offer it. Minimum strength as per the CBSE norms, 40 students for that particular class should be there. If that is there, definitely we are going to offer. And this year, I think we started offering few languages, and next year we'll offer another set of few languages. Gradually, we'll go for all possible. I want to understand how a student is being checked during the class session, whether they have understood the topic discussed or not. That's the teacher job. I think better not to go for discussion and debate on this. We will not step into the shoes of the teacher. Next, we have continuously 3 days of PE is difficult. Keep clean, please look into it. I think that part is very valid point. We should not have the continuous 3 days physical education period. And definitely, I think as per our timetable, we have only 2 periods of PE. Why 3, we do not know. Check it, please. Sean, let's address this issue later on. Right, and is there any swimming trying facility available? Yes. Right now, we have developed a swimming pool at our international school premises. There is again one indoor stadium is coming up, and another multi-purpose hall is also coming up. These 2 are going to be inaugurated somewhere in the month of July. So, and there actually we are going to create some washroom facilities for our children, change facilities. Once that is done, from the month of August, we are going to offer swimming services to the even Wadi Kabir children also. So therefore, there will not be disturbance to the international school children. Currently, only facility is extended to international school children for this month for a few lessons. But because of this change facilities are not in place now, we are going to offer this only from maybe some August onwards. But if any students are interested, maybe shortly we are going to issue a circular on summer camp. So whoever is not visiting India and staying here, they can get the benefit of the summer camp, swimming summer camp. So that will be in place. And Shan sir, I could answer almost all the questions. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to interact with you.
Thank you, sir, for taking your time to answer all the queries and clarifying our parents' doubts so patiently. Dear parents, be rest assured, we are there to help and guide your child. Should you have any queries, any problems, please do bring it to our notice. Follow the system, please. Prior appointments with the teachers, and I am always available when free. Please meet me or meet the team, and we will definitely help you out, whatever the problem is, in the best possible manner. Dear parents, thank you for taking time out to attend this orientation program. I would like to thank in particular the entire teaching faculty at the primary for walking you through the school processes and showcasing all that we have to offer to your children. I'd like to reiterate this that positive connections between parents and teachers have been shown to improve children's academic achievements, social competencies, and emotional well-being. When parents and teachers work as partners, children do better in school and at home. We look forward to your continuous support and cooperation and assure you, dear parents, of doing our best to make your children's life at school not only enjoyable, but a memorable one as well. Thank you so much and good night.
Yeah, we can request the parents to leave the meeting.